if we can, each one of them we can, or run along.
No, I just heard.
Yeah. 5:30, please rise, join me with me for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chris, roll call.
Anderson,
Present.
Badiford,
Present.
Doobie,
Present.
Holstein,
Present.
Yaris,
Present.
Ravish present, and Kuchar excused. 6 present.
I hope the weather's changing, get rid of the snow. At least it ends up a little bit nicer. Hopefully. Getting baseball season. Any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda?
To approve the agenda is printed.
Motion support, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Community comments on the agenda. Any community comments? Seeing none, to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda and pay the bills at $522,660.16. That's it is.
What's that?
It's right.
Okay. And motion support, any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Badiford,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Holstein,
Yes.
Yaris,
Yes.
Ravish, yes, Doobie,
Yes.
6-0.
Okay, communication, Mr. Paulcheck.
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple things tonight. First, starting off with the Neola updates that are in your packet. A lot of them are dates, grammar, legal requirements. There were 2 things that I had a choice of in all of those Neola policies. One was stating that I will be the one in charge of making sure we use prevailing wages when necessary. And the second one was that we can have a moment of silence without including religion in it. Those are the only 2 choices from all of those things. So as you look through them, just I'm sure you'll realize that a lot of them are just little dates and things that have to change. So that's the Neola update. Job fairs. Ms. Jaime attended a Saginaw Valley State Education Job Fair, and I also attended a Michigan Department of Education virtual job fair since we last met. I met with 3 educators virtually. It was pretty interesting being a virtual situation because one, after I talked, it was almost like a mini interview. And after I had talked to her for 15 minutes, I asked where she was from, and she's living in Texas right now. So that's the strange thing with a virtual job fair, but she's looking to move her and her husband to Michigan, so it was kind of a cool thing and she had a special education background. That's why I wanted to make sure and speak with her. So kind of a neat thing that the MDE is doing. Ms. Jaime made some nice connections also at Saginaw Valley. And it's just good to get the word out there that we've got some neat things here at Pinconning to offer our employees, and we hope that word spreads. So, project updates. First off, we had the bid acceptance from Fence Crafters last week. We opened our bids. So we are meeting, I think, tomorrow morning with our maintenance and him to look at what we need. So he has given that bid, and I see that's down here for our soccer fence bid. I'm asking or hoping with his bid, maybe we add a few thousand because I'm worried that we might need a new gate or something else. If we need nothing, it would stay exactly with what that bid was, but just in case, that would be nice to have. Stage lift. This one is I'm pretty excited about. I met with Mr. Kerr, a local builder, and we looked around the stage trying to see what we can do for a lift because I had a company that sells the lifts, and we were looking at knocking out walls and adding doors, it would have been a very expensive situation. And when I called the company, they said, have you looked at our mobile lift? And I didn't, so I looked at it, told her what we were looking for, and she said, this sounds exactly like what you're looking for, where it can be stored in the warehouse, and when you need it throughout the year, a couple times, however many times, you bring it out, it's sets how it's supposed to, and you can use it, or you can take it other places, so it doesn't have to be just there at the stage. So we're looking into that, and that could be I would think a quarter of the cost of knocking out walls, and who knows what you find when you start knocking into walls. So that's looking at that. I know that's been on our minds, and we've been looking into that. So that's a upcoming project. And next, steam traps at Linwood. I don't know if any of you have heard or been around Linwood Elementary, but very hot, almost steamy in some rooms where they've got windows open in the morning. We had Dan LePan do a walkthrough of all of our buildings, and it was part of a state type grant type thing that I signed up for to look at our buildings. And he said the same thing that Jim Olson said, is that our steam traps are either locked open, broke, dirty, whatever. They need to be either changed or cleaned where they can shut, and then that lets the air, the steam, not just go right out into the open air, and that will help. So we're in the process of looking at that. Jim was looking for some companies that could do that, possibly replace them, and if minimum fix them so that they're not held wide open and the hot air is just blowing through the whole building. And roof pre-bid meeting is tomorrow. The final bid meeting is April 2nd at 3:30, but that will be the pre-bid meeting to talk about some of our projects and what we have. We'll hopefully have some companies here tomorrow for that. And I think
Maybe before you go on.
Yep.
How much was that portable stage lift thing?
it was around 10,000, 10 and a half.
Would it fold up enough that it could go right underneath
No,
the stage? No. Okay.
I don't think so. It looked, from the picture that I seen, it was pretty upright.
Oh, okay.
But it's a good question. I never even thought about that. I was thinking we would have to take it out, but yeah, I don't know how far down it does go. When I seen it, it may have been just up high
The
enough.
room,
So.
in the middle school, you know, that open,
In between the locker room
Yeah.
or the bathrooms back there.
Oh,
Maybe. I just know there's a lot of pipes and things back
Yeah.
there. We'll have to see how big it is.
Yeah.
I asked for the footprint of it, and I did get some
Okay.
documents, but I didn't look at when it's folded all the way down how small it would be. That would be great if we wouldn't have to
Yeah.
take it out there.
and then on your soccer fence, is that all the way around, or do we just
All the way.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yep, full thing.
Do you want to hit the next one? Or do you want to let that go? Meeting thing?
No, that's up to you if you want to talk about that later or not.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. No,
Okay.
I'm all good with that. So that's it.
Okay. Any other questions, from board members? Got it?
Thank you.
Okay, lady?
So starting off with esports, the esports team are mid-season and have been competing against schools from across the state each week. Last week, the Super Smash Bros. Team, Alex Kopka, Colin Hertzberg, and Norman Olar, defeated Lance Cruz High School 3-0, bringing their overall record to 2-3 on the season. The Spartan Steed Mario Kart team, Cooper Sherman, Colin Hertzberg, Luke Coggins, and Connor Whitcup, defeated AIM High School 2-0, bringing their overall record to 4-1. The team is currently ranked 13th in the state. The Spartan Chariot Kart team, Eli Pullman, Jacob Stonebeck, Griffin Warren, and Dylan Crevinghouse, defeated the Ludington High School 2-1, bringing the record 4-1. The team is currently ranked 11th in the state. Band, 3 students represented PHS at the State Solo Ensemble Festival hosted by Midland High School on March 16th. Sarah Yaros performed a clarinet solo and passed Proficiency 1, allowing her to move on to Proficiency 2 in future years. Taylor Moran performed a snare drum solo, allowing Proficiency 1 and earning a Division 2 Excellent Rating. Taylor Moran and Maria Harrell performed a snare drum and timpani duet, earning a Division 1 Superior Rating. All 3 musicians represented their school and program with pride and distinction. Beginning band recruitment season is upon us. The annual beginning band recruitment night will take place on Thursday, April 18th from 4:30 to 7:30 in the middle school gym. Robotics. The robotics team competed in Traverse City the weekend of March 14th and 15th, and again in Midland this past weekend. The team was able to successfully build a robot that could throw an object for the first time in the team's history. The team would like to express their gratitude to Paul Palmerville for the personal donation that helped the team reach their goals. High School Student Council candidate meetings for those interested in being an officer in Student Council next year will take place on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7:20 a.m. in Mr. Stomach's classroom 131. Any student in grades 8 through 11 who are interested in being a class officer for the 2024-2025 school year must attend one meeting. Student Council will be sponsoring an egg hunt for PHS staff members on Wednesday right after school. Eggs will be filled with loose change, lottery tickets, and gift cards. The Senior Poll Awards, sponsored by any student council, will take place on Wednesday in the middle school gymnasium. This is a senior-only event which will feature results of the senior polls conducted earlier this year, as well as pizza, breadsticks, and cake. Seniors will also have an opportunity to compete in games with gift card prizes. Bowling. The girls and boys bowling team held a recruitment event on Saturday at the Standish Bowling Alley. Roughly 15 students interested in joining the bowling team next year joined current team members and Pinconning bowling alumni at the event. Students bowled 3 games before being combined with adult alumni in a small tournament. National Honor Society. Invitations have been sent to sophomores, juniors, and seniors who meet the criteria to become members of the National Honor Society. Selection of new members will take place the week of April 8th. Induction of new members will take place on May 3rd. Spring sports. Spring sport practices are in full swing. All teams are eagerly looking forward to their first competitions of the season, which will begin shortly after we return from spring break. And Middle School Student Council. The Middle School Student Council is wrapping up March's reading month this week by visiting the last classroom of second graders and reading in small groups. It has been a great experience for middle school students. And that's all.
Thank you. What's your name?
Olivia O'Loughlin.
Okay, report from administrative staff.
All right, I just have a few updates, just lots have been happening this time of year, and as we roll into spring, it's really crazy and busy. I just wanted to give the board an update on our sex ed advisory board, just where we're at in compliance. We had meetings on our transition from Mr. Keenan into our new health teacher into the school year to keep us going. I continue to have correspondence with Gary Schmidt through the ISD to send updates to the curriculum. Working with Mr. Sheeran, our new health teacher, on that, and so we'll continue to do that, and then we plan on meeting at the end of the school year just to make sure everything is good to go, for that next school year and the updates for that. Back in, I want to say late fall, winter time, he sent out the MIFI surveys, which is an online student health survey. That was much better to send it out as well, so we're just getting rolling on all those updates and going forward with that. We had our MyKit meeting this past Thursday with our MyKit team. Kind of neat talking to Jack from the MASB for our strategic plan. We're the first district in the state to make that seamless transition between MyKit and our strategic plan with both their curriculum and all of the other updates in there. So that's been really nice to make sure that all the work we've done for the last 4 years on that, it's not going to be lost. It'll just enhance everything that we're doing. So that's been nice. It's some really good conversations that day. We looked at how to move forward with district provided professional development, get more targeted support for our teachers and get their input as well. And we're going to help overhaul the mentor and mentee program for this next school year, especially we're going to have a lot of retirements within the next 5 years or so. I don't even want to think about that, but just making sure that we're setting up our new teachers, whether they're brand new or they come to us season, that they come to Pinconning and that they're ready to go right away in the classroom. Speaking of new teachers, we have offered a position for the new industrial arts teacher. Super excited. Has a wealth of experience coming here. He's extremely excited to start, so we'll start in the fall, and they'll replace Matt Hubman, who's retiring at the end of this year. My student voice surveys, they went out this week for students and teachers to take. I know the secondary took them today in their staff meeting. And then we're just gonna keep making sure that they're done by Thursday, that's the window, and then this week they will go out for the public, for our parents to take, so that way they've got a little bit of time. And then we will be looking at the survey data when we reconvene for my kid in the spring. I met with a team from the Office of Special Education in Lansing this last week to target our low achievement in our elementary. Right now, we're looking at Linwood test scores, and eventually that will be a district-wide endeavor, but right now we're just targeting that. Really kind of neat, we did a lot of research-based activities this last week, and the curriculum that we're using, plus our supplemental curriculum, is rated the highest, highly effective, and the highest rating for research-based materials. So that was nice to see that we're using all of those things. And then we're just gonna get, for the next 6 weeks, some targeting in there with some data and seeing where we land in the spring.
Just have a short report for you today, just some testing dates. I know Dr. Braun and Ms. Pondo have been working diligently on our PSAT testing, along with our MSTEP. So those dates are available to you on that first page. And then on the second page, I have a sample letter that I plan on sending out to our juniors that are taking the SAT test. So basically, this is a letter that would go out this week, or, after we get back from spring break, possibly. Basically just excusing the juniors after the test to be able to leave if they'd like. Not saying that they have to, but parents, kids are, out of it after a couple hours or a few hours of testing, they would have the right to leave. So the board can look over this form and just give any feedback that you think may need to be added to, would be great. Also on that date, seniors will not be in the building. It'll be a job shadow, college visit, or a volunteer hour day for them. So it's April 6th.
I've got a couple things about middle school. 8th grade is going to be doing a career center visit on Wednesday afternoon, where they go and tour and just see the different programs that will be offered for them in the high school. Student council is planning a trip to go to a Loons game on May 7th for themselves. They are also going to be planning a field day for all middle school later at the end of the school year for all 6th through 8th graders. We have a middle school egg hunt that's going to take place Wednesday morning this week before we go on a spring break. Student of the month for the month of February for 6th grade was Ashlyn Kloha, 7th grade was Lauren Gradowski, and 8th grade was Drake Snyder. And overall, student of the month was Lauren Gradowski. And just that we're continuing with our weekly Pride winners. You can see them religiously, on social media. Swingers posting them usually pretty quickly. And then I just wanted to take a second just to comment on the overall mental health of middle school. I am dealing with these students all day, every day, between discipline and just behaviors and needs of students. And just want to comment on how much I appreciate having the ISD supply us with 31 ed counselor. It's literally like an artery between my office and hers. And I know that recently we went from 3 days to 4 days of having her in the building, and just how much I appreciate that. That's all I have.
Hubert? Sanford?
Nope.
Upper? Okay. Nope. Okay. Okay, then on to board committees. Policy met, and one of the first topics we discussed was the foreign exchange students. They've never participated in graduation, and a lot of the schools around, they do. So we discussed whether we would change this, and what we said is that we would allow them, the suggestion was that we allow them to participate, walk, then we'll get a diploma, form a diploma. They'll sit and have their name called, walk across the stage. So that's what we come up with. They're gonna have the name read, walk across the page, they're participating in all the activities, but they just won't get the form.
What triggered this review? Did somebody apply?
No, I don't think
We did have this year's exchange student parent, or not even parent, it was the head of the organization, came to us numerous times due to them having foreign exchange students probably in the 80s where they were allowed to walk, and they were asking why or when it changed. So we did a lot of discussion. We had a lot of discussions with that. And in the past, no one was allowed that didn't get a diploma. And in the recent last 2 years are when we started having our ISD students that were able to walk across without getting a diploma, because they fulfilled their time here.
The special.
Yes, students with IEPs from the ISD program.
So if a student misses 1 credit hour, petitions to walk with their class, they can now walk with their class.
Correct. At this point, they are not able to. And that was the whole reason why they were not allowed, from what I've been told a while ago, is that we could have a student here for 4 years and miss 1 required class and they can't walk at graduation.
So now they can walk. If
No.
we accept this,
No, this is for foreign exchange
Foreign
students.
exchange.
See,
See,
why would we allow a foreign exchange student who's visiting here to walk? I mean, I just,
See, one of the
I don't see
things-
as a, I don't see graduation
they
as an
come
experience.
as
It's more of
a,
privilege.
right, they come as, when they get here, we consider what, 10th graders?
Yeah.
So
It's
then,
messy. It's very messy because
yeah,
of
so then they end up
graduation.
repeating classes they've had, because we can't consider them seniors, because they can't participate in that stuff, correct? That's a lot of it?
They can't be a junior due to the testing. We haven't had them be senior because of all the commencements and all those things. We've had them be 10th graders when some of them are 17, 18-year-old kids.
I've seen them at senior nights with the gown.
That's something they talk
You're getting experience there.
See, we're just talking about it, what does it really hurt?
Well, I just think if I was a student that was 1 credit short, and I went through a class with 12 years with a group of students, I said, boy, I really want to walk with them. You don't have to give me my diploma, but let me walk. We said, no.
How
Say,
many
well,
do we
wait,
get?
someone who was here for 1 semester, walk across that stage?
How many do we have that fit in this category?
I don't know. I do know there have been some, when I was 1 or 2 each year. It could.
I just don't know. That stage is a privilege more than just a experience. You know what I mean? If
In
I'm
many
gonna say, we went
districts
through-
It's pretty split. There are districts that do allow them. I've been in some, and there are some districts that do not allow it. So it's not all. It's not like we're in the minority by saying we don't allow them. But it was worth bringing up since it was brought to us to discuss and to see. Because one other thing is that many of these students do miss out on their graduation at their home country, that they are not able to walk at commencement because they're here. So that was another thing that has been brought to us. But I
Do we
understand.
look at their requirements? Like, do they have a similar requirement that if they miss something, they don't get to walk, or?
No, we don't have any of their requirements.
Don't know if anybody wants to take action on it, motion.
And if we don't, it stays as is. And if we don't, they're not allowed. So.
I myself think that we should do. And I would make the motion that we allow foreign exchange students to walk with the class. They came here and they were as a senior.
I'll support that, Martin.
Motion and support. Any other discussion?
Guess you gotta be prepared then, that other student that's 1 short comes up.
It's a little different circumstance, I mean.
Right. I mean,
It's not happening.
they're,
They're
these students are not
getting
getting a
guests.
diploma. They're just, all they're doing is
But
walk.
if the kid that's this year you're paying you for 1 credit the day of graduation, we're working with that kid a lot.
It's true.
that it's not.
Not a fry.
Oh, it looks like you're not sure. You're not walking. It's a conversation that we're gonna year round.
Thanks for that input.
That is,
Allow foreign education to participate in commencements.
and this is not board policy anywhere, there's no board policy that says yes or no, it's just been what we've done in the past, so. I wanted to bring it to you.
They're not gonna receive a diploma,
No.
they're just gonna walk across the
No.
stage, have their name read.
Yep, they'll just get the same,
Okay.
we just give them a
They can get a certificate.
certificate.
That they were here for a year.
That's all it says. Okay, so we have a motion to support, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Opposed. So it'd be 4-2.
4-2, yeah.
4-2.
Okay, the second, and again, something that we can take action on, we discussed whether school will allow staff a pass to get into.
I'll make a motion to allow students or staff to have passes for sporting events.
Okay, that's, we have a motion or to allow staff passes, but that is for the staff and staff only.
I agree because we want them to be involved in the district, so we can encourage that. It's an easy way for us to encourage that.
Now, who do we say is staff? Anyone that works at the
Yep.
high school, middle school?
High school, middle school,
Does that
elementary.
include everybody then?
Yeah.
Anyone who
All
receives a
employees.
paycheck that is an employee for Pinconning Schools?
Yes. Okay, so the motion support, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Just a quick comment, so at the gate, the staff would just another staff. So you staff-
Yeah, that- okay. Yeah, just to have discussion
This
with
is better, you
whoever,
might not know.
whoever the gate person is.
Yeah, they have that step by date.
Okay, and the next one we discussed was the Linwood Civic Improvement. The current practice was that we carry insurance on the park. And our discussion was that the district would cease, because we're overlapping.
No, they would see.
They would cease, except for special events, then they have to have the,
Special liability
special
insurance.
event insurance for that.
But we already have liability.
Right.
For the park.
Right.
Redundant, they were paying close to $3,000 or something we already had.
Yeah, this is great.
And now that they've switched from the park board to civic improvement, they don't do fundraisers. They don't have the funds to pay that extra, and we don't need them to, and I cracked on it.
Yeah, that's all it was.
And long as we don't have additional liability in any way.
No, they would carry the additional for special events, yes, they'd have it at the park.
Like the ball fields, the ball teams, they have their own insurance for their own events. That's where we don't have to worry about that.
Make a motion to remove the annual insurance requirement from the Linwood Civic Park agreement. Require them to have event insurance.
Motion support. Any other discussion? None, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay. On to the next one was we discussed the toilet training for kindergarten. Currently, there's no policy whatsoever. And we were just talking about it, was to define the process of how it would take place. We know that there's special circumstances for kids coming in. And then we talked about, what it would be, how it happened, and it's, basically coming up with a description of whether we have to have a job title for somebody to take care of this, disposal, we talked about, calling a parent, have the parent come in to do it, kind of, all the things about I think they're looking at, somebody's gonna look into, right? Because other places, they have a person that comes in, or that works there, they do it, and they have an area for disposal of waste and how it's gonna be handled, it's a whole different thing. One person going in, you know, multiple people, it's a sticky situation, so that's where we're at, and then Andy was gonna look at, creating
Procedure.
normal thing.
Procedure, we don't have that.
So. And then the last one, we had spent some time with the dress code. And we used.
Back on that last one, what grades are we talking about?
This is.
It's any grade.
Yeah,
It's any grade, yeah.
And it's awesome. Across the road.
Yeah, preschool kids coming in.
Do we set the rule for
I-
that? No, I'm talking the ISD and
Yeah.
preschool.
The ISD we do not, but the preschool is our program.
That's like the ISD, we only set those rules.
No,
Do we know what their,
ISD rules are?
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean, they deal with all their own staff. We don't
Yeah.
have staff that go in and help with anything that's, they
okay.
take care of their own students.
Okay.
Right now, John just takes care of it. It's not-
So I don't know what I'm supposed to say, but we've never required a teacher. Ever. Just so you know, I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's good or bad, but we've never made a teacher change a student. And we do have that in our postings for special ed positions, that is part of that duty.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Do we know if that's in all
Linwood too?
of our special ed?
Good, well, that's always taken care of, I mean, with their own health plan would be involved in their IEP, same thing in the center-based programs, they would take care of that stuff.
Okay. So that, okay, any other discussion on that? Okay.
I just, on number 4, it says toilet training for kindergarten. Should we just have toilet training for students or something?
Yeah, and right now,
Yeah, I think it's
Specific to
because
kindergarten.
it's,
with Mark.
we started with kindergarten and kind of turned into just we need a policy for the
Yeah.
whole school, not just kindergarten. That was the original
Yeah.
first one that was brought up.
Mark, how he brought it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now, with the dress code, we went through and a lot of it was gender specifications and things that was removed. We read through.
I think we should, and Mr. Ritter, I don't know if you want to do anything, but yeah, the changes definitely, I would like you guys to read.
Have administrators seen this?
Yeah, well.
Have you had a chance to put feedback in
Yeah,
and everything?
so, we met with, our parent advisory committee, and we discussed each line item of the dress code. I brought those recommendations to the policy committee when we met, two weeks ago. So, yes, I was involved with the policy
Okay.
committee.
Okay, then I'm just gonna run through these.
These came from the parent group then, or these were?
They're
developed by
not,
the
not
policy?
fully, but their input was.
Yeah.
He had their input at our policy meeting 2 weeks ago.
So number 1 and number 2 on there, there was no change, but number 1 was footwear must be worn, and number 2 was no jewelry or accessories that could cause injuries, spikes, chains, safety pins. 3, skirts, shorts, jeans, or similar that exposed skin must reach or surpass the student's mid-thigh. And any flaws, holes in the garment above mid-thigh must not expose skin. These are what it's changed to. The reasoning, I'm not, that 4, undergarments must be worn at all times and must be concealed by the student's clothing. There's no change. 5, hats, caps, sunglasses, and other head coverings may not be worn by students within the school building unless it is part of their religion or is approved by an administrator.
A lot of the conversation with this is just taking the language a lot more generalized.
Right.
Like, you'll see building principal taken out of there, and administrator put in. You'll see specific body parts removed from the language and just more general body part, or region more so than specific body parts. Right there.
Number 6, pajamas, sleepwear, or similar are not permitted as clothing for school. Any type of loungewear items found in pajama section, we just, again, that was a cleanup. 7, no garments, t-shirts, jackets, sweatshirts, and so forth are to be worn that have profanity, obscene. No change. It was a reference to.
Let's stop for number 6 before we go on. What about when we have like in March, readathon for elementary, they have like pajama day or whatever? How's that gonna fit into this?
There should be a spot that says there are special circumstances, certain things can be.
Is it gonna
Done,
be
yes.
right there at number 6? It will say
This is
that?
high school, middle school. This isn't elementary.
Okay. Does middle school, high school have those sleepover days or sleep days?
They do, like spirit days for homecoming. There could occasionally be a pajama day or something like that,
Shouldn't
where
we
that's a
have in
special.
there unless approved by administrators or something? We have it on like number 5, but we don't have it on number 6.
That should be for all, like at the beginning, if it's not already, like,
Okay, that'll
you
be
know,
cleaned up a little bit.
something with administrators
Okay.
may give that change, like there are hat
We-
days for homecoming.
Yeah, we have it in the opening statement.
Okay.
Since it is
Is it a hat
virtually
day?
impossible to find all situations that may occur, it may be necessary for an administrator to rule on the appropriateness of the student's dress or hygiene. Therefore, the decision of an administrator will be final.
Okay.
So they can ask. I don't know if we want to add on every one of them that administrator.
No, I don't think we need everyone, as long as it states somewhere at the beginning that administrators can make exceptions
Okay.
for special events.
Number 8, sleeveless, it used to say sleeveless tank top, but sleeveless tops are permitted to be worn as an outer garment if they have at least 3 finger width wide shoulder straps, and armholes that do not expose skin of the torso. Okay. Before it was, 3 finger wide straps and a regular cut armhole, we clean that up, and the sides of the body or
Scenario when you have a, predominantly a male student with a cut open
Right.
side here, so you can see all.
Right.
A basketball jersey would not qualify, right? Would they?
I don't think,
I don't think it's supposed to.
no, the purple, they're pretty tight
They are
now.
pretty tight here.
I don't know if it's 3 finger width at the top though.
But
I'm not sure if they would be.
The t-shirt over.
Yeah, they would put a t-shirt underneath it.
Number 9, before it said low cut see-through strapless or backless dresses and shirts of any clothing that expose areas of the stomach, side, or breast are prohibited. That's gone. And now it reads, shirts, tops, or similar coverings must be worn at all times and may not expose the torso. 10, what do we have? Common decency requires no bare midriff or plunging neckline to expose cleavage. That is gone. It says, now it's shirts, tops, and similar coverings shall have a neckline that stays at or above the, how do you say that?
Excellent.
Axillate armpits, and a hem that does not expose the skin or any part of the torso, even during movement.
I seem to see the same thing.
Yeah.
It's shorter. They say the same thing.
Yeah.
So they had armpits on too.
Right.
Yeah.
More coverage.
Yeah.
I did make a suggestion to put it's like a diagram of the first, so like people
Right.
know where, like, you asked me where the axillary armpits are at.
Yeah.
So it's like to have a little
Yeah.
diagram of where
Yeah.
that stuff is. So that's, I know one school district, Midland School.
Midland,
District has that.
Yeah, so we could remove.
You just add,
Yeah.
may not expose the torso up to 10, and you almost have it.
Right. 11 with safety glasses must be worn, so no change. Who participates in shop and science classes. 12 for extracurricular, co-curricular events. These rules will prevail plus whatever requirements were decided upon by the individual organization when students before it had we. When students represent Pinconning schools, their appearance shall represent pride in oneself, school and community. And we removed we hope that our appearance, and then the he and she, or his and her, were removed.
So this is talking about after-school events.
Yes.
So these rules prevail on after-school events, so wrestlers have to follow these rules? No. Isn't that what this says?
I'm assuming, and it's a
I think
good
it
thing
might
you
be
brought up,
right.
I think it's for the student, like, fans. That's what I took it as, not the athletes themselves, 'cause they have to wear the, athletic, uniforms that they're given.
Because those are MHSAA.
Yeah, though they have,
Well, this is not gonna apply to fans, because this is a student dress
Right.
code, so this is not a fan dress code, so.
students at
Students at our event,
our events.
but not participants.
No, you're not,
I didn't see this distinction right away when I read it.
so that might need to
For
be
what it's
cleared up. Yeah, that's good.
13, wearing or displaying gang-related articles, accessories result in disciplinary actions, no change. 14, request for wearing, here's one. Whatever. Request for wearing unusual clothing, tuxedo, costume, medical attire, must be approved in advance by an administrator.
That does cover
That
it.
takes care of it.
Okay.
Hooded sweatshirts, and then the terminology put in hoodies, must be worn with the hood completely down. Headbands are allowed, bandanas are not allowed, there's no change there. And the last one, coat jackets and backpacks are not permitted in classroom unless approved by the administrator. Drawstring bags are allowed to be taken to physical education class, no change there.
With just a little note with number 17, we do have quite a few students that have a satchel, purse, some type of item that they take to class. It's not a backpack, it's not a backpack, it's not a drawstring bag. I just wanted to bring it up as a possible.
Are they approved by an administrator? Are those satchels approved by an administrator like this asks them to do? Because then it would fall under this.
Yeah, they haven't been approved, but I definitely have been enforcing it, because it doesn't say satchels or persons are not allowed, it's just a backpack. You don't
Right.
have a bag.
I myself would say if it's a purse, it's a purse. I mean, if it's, I've seen some of the purses before they carry, it's a suitcase, and it's a suitcase.
I figured away, just wanted to bring it up as a discussion item.
That's valid, because there's some, question there, of what's a satchel?
Right.
I mean, I think you got the out here because you say you can approve those.
Right.
If you want to approve those satchels, I'm fine with you approving those satchels as backpack.
But,
Not-
so you would use like satchels as persons under the umbrella of the
No.
backpack?
No, I wouldn't, I don't propose changing anything.
Great.
No.
I think you're covered here as a satchel, because even if someone were to classify that as a backpack, with your approval, they're allowed. Right, Mike?
Yeah, they're like little baby bags, little crossbodies.
And you cover this, every year at the opening day with the students?
We did it this year because we didn't really have orientation. But
Orientation was online for everybody, and your whole paperwork, everything was online.
Yeah, because one like that almost needs to be, talked about in person, right? What's a backpack, what's a sack?
I guess if somebody were, the argument always is, kids can get things, can steal things, and those types of things, and I guess if they get, somebody were to get,
Someone could lose the privilege.
They lose the privilege.
But we get into trouble when one person's bringing it to school and another one brings one that thinks it's just like it. And then they can't go to class, that's the problem. That's the problem.
How many weeks into June do we go this year?
It's just 2 days.
2 days, okay, okay. Any discussion on this?
Does this address the cheerleading situation we had earlier in the year?
Mhm.
That would be number 3.
Yeah, it's,
Yep.
um,
There will still be
There will
athletic
still be
uniforms
athletic.
that are not allowed in school.
Right,
there's many outfits and uniforms that don't meet the dress code policy, you know, volleyball, wrestling.
Right, yep, okay.
Track, cross country.
we can leave 9. The plan is just to roll this out as a test. If somebody wants to make a motion to go ahead,
For the balance of the school year?
and coming back from spring break to the end of the year,
Well, and it will take administration, they'll have to somehow
right?
relay this to all the students. You know, it will take a little bit of time, it's not gonna be
Yeah.
just instant.
Oh yeah, spring break's next week.
Yeah,
So,
so, I mean, I think we can even let
Yeah.
the administration say when they're gonna do this, if it's you know, mid-April through May.
Yep.
And then when they bring the handbook updates for next year, you know, that's when we can say
Right.
how it's working.
I'll make a motion to implement this for the balance of the year.
Support. Any other discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay. And that was the only, on the non-consent resolution for the Operation Village.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the ballot language for the 18 mills operating on non-homestead property.
Motion support.
Yeah.
Bedifer,
Yes.
Yaris,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Holstein,
Yes.
Rabish, yes, Doobie,
Yes.
6-0.
The reading of the Neola policies.
Make a motion to approve the reading of the NOLA policies. First reading.
Motion support.
Mhm.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Fiber bids.
To accept the bid from Peninsula Fiber for a 5-year lease, dark fiber not to exceed $250 a month, with a built-out cost not to exceed $5,050 pending. The USAC approval.
Support.
Motion support.
Mhm. Yaris,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Bedifer,
Yes.
Holstein,
Yes.
Rabish, yes, Doobie,
Yes.
6-0.
And on to the soccer fence.
I'll move to accept the bid from Fence Crafters LLC for a cost not to exceed $30,000.
Support.
Motion support. Any discussion?
Andy, do you think that will be enough to cover in case?
Yeah. I think, hopefully we don't ever even have to use that much, but.
Yaris,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Bedifer,
Yes.
Holstein,
Yes.
Rabish, yes, Doobie,
Yes.
6-0.
Okay, any public comments?
I thought there'd be more discussion about mine.
You talked about it already, Jay, you convinced us.
Well, and I said we were gonna go out for bid to run our own. We got one bid back, only one company bid, and the build out cost was $800,000. So, even if that money from the government was never a guarantee to cover those costs, and for a couple other reasons, I decided to go the dark, so we're gonna lease.
We just
the
decided.
fiber. Yeah, you decided. I just wanted to let you know, I did follow through on getting bids to run our own, but it was it was close to $1 million, so.
Yeah, thanks for your recommendations.
Any others? Public comment. No others? Okay. Discussion from the board?
Did we break? Great, I'm not gonna be there.
Good, you just said good news. I'm not gonna be there either.
Oh, that's okay.
Just let us know.
Okay, then that will conclude our business. We need a motion to go into closed session to over concept. So,
Let's go to closed session.
motion support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to closed session. Thank you.